The newly elected president of Senegal was sworn in yesterday on the 2nd of April, the exact date Macky Sall has left office. But what is going to be the fate of Macky Sall? Is he likely to end up in jail as well? Will the PASTEF party come after him? Is it going to be a thing of what goes around comes back around for Macky Sall? Well, make sure you stay till the end as we find out together. Let's dive right in. Bassirou Diomaye Faye was sworn in Tuesday in Diamniadio as Senegal's 5th president, having defeated main rival and ruling party coalition candidate Amadou Ba, and winning the delayed election with over 54% of the vote. Following the ceremony in Diamniadio, which is about an hour from the center of the capital, Dakar, Faye reassured the people who elected him that he's ready to move Senegal forward, saying the election results showed a profound desire for systemic change. The Senegalese people have chosen to build a country that is just, he said, adding that he will work tirelessly to preserve the peace and national cohesion. At 44, Faye is the youngest man elected president in Senegal. Maimouna Dieye, who leads the women's wing of the opposition PASTEF party, has been working with Faye for the past 10 years. She said Faye might not have much experience in running a country, but he has a lot of experience in his field, including 15 years as a tax inspector. Dieye said she believes Faye will deliver on his proposed solutions to the everyday problems of ordinary Senegalese. Jean-Charles Biagui, researcher and political science professor at the Cheikh Anta Diop University of Dakar, said it will be important for the new government to make some changes right away, primarily reducing the advantages associated with government officials' lifestyles. That way, he said, the ordinary Senegalese can see that those who are running the country are serving the nation and not serving themselves. But who will constitute Bassirou Faye's cabinet? And most importantly, where is Ousmane Sonko in all of these? Is he going to be the vice president, or is he going to be a special advisor or a consultant to Diomaye Faye? This will definitely become clear in the next couple of days or weeks to come. Diomaye came to power under the PASTEF party owned by Ousmane Sonko. This means that the president will go by the PASTEF manifesto. However, what will happen when Diomaye Faye decides not to go by the PASTEF manifesto and go by his own manifesto, or even stand on its own? What is going to be the fate of Ousmane Sonko within the general public, as Ousmane Sonko brought Diomaye Faye to the limelight as his successor? Because of Sonko's trust and confidence in Diomaye, the general public also trusted him. I hope and pray things don't turn out to be that way, or perhaps I'm just being overly worried due to the past experiences as we have seen it in the Gambia, where President Adama Barrow rose to power through United Democratic Party but ended up cutting ties with them. Diomaye looks different, and he is very humble and down to earth. For him to be chosen by Ousmane Sonko, he must definitely be a trustworthy man, and for that reason, we trust him as well. Macky Sall has left office as well as the presidential palace of Senegal, as he was captured saying goodbye to the new President Faye, who walked him outside shortly before Macky Sall and his entourage exited and left the State House. But what will be the fate of Macky Sall after leaving office? Is he going to be prosecuted? Before we dive right in, this is a humble request to please support our work by liking this video and subscribing to the African Pacific YouTube channel, a Gambian-owned channel looking into both the good and the bad that are often ignored by mainstream media. Please show your support by liking and subscribing. Thank you so much. During 2023, arbitrary arrests of opposition figures and activists, security force use of excessive force, unjustified restrictions on civic space, and other human rights violations continued in Senegal under ex-President Macky Sall, according to the Human Rights Watch. Senegal's recent protests in response to the sentencing of opposition leader Ousmane Sonko were met with extreme human rights violations at the hands of President Macky Sall's government. They highlight the ongoing need to protect human rights and the civic space in Africa. The African Charter on Human and People's Rights ensures a number of rights for all Africans, including rights to freedom of speech and association, but more must be done to ensure that these rights are safeguarded. During the protests, the Senegalese government responded to demonstrators with extreme violence, arbitrary arrests, and an internet shutdown. Over less than 2 weeks of protest, over 500 people were arrested, 350 injured, and 16 killed according to Global Rights. But who is to be blamed for this? Who should be held accountable? Will it be Macky Sall? Let's find out together. Riots broke out in Senegal's capital Dakar on Thursday after a court sentenced Sonko, a leading opposition politician, to 2 years in jail for corrupting youth, undermining his chances of running for president next year. Sonko, 48, was accused of raping a woman who worked in a massage parlor in 2021 when she was 20 and making death threats against her. He denies wrongdoing and says the charges are politically motivated. A criminal court cleared Sonko of rape, but found him guilty of a separate criminal offense described in the Penal Code as immoral behavior towards individuals younger than 21. This could prevent him from participating in February elections, according to Senegal's electoral law. With this sentence, Sonko cannot be a candidate, said one of his lawyers, Bamba Cissé explained. This caused a massive protest across the country. The rape case has triggered violent protests in the West African country since 2021. Sonko's supporters denounced the charges as a ploy to prevent Sonko from running in next year's elections. The government and the justice system deny this. We have noted with regret violence that has led to the destruction of public and private property, and unfortunately, 9 deaths in Dakar and Ziguinchor. Again, will Macky Sall be held accountable for these deaths as well? As if this wasn't enough. With just 3 weeks to go before the 25th of February election, Mr. Sall announced that it would be delayed, a move that was later approved by Parliament. Critics accused Mr. Sall of trying to stay on beyond his term of office, which the president denied. He argued that the delay was needed to resolve a dispute over the eligibility of presidential candidates. He says it was opposition politicians who raised these concerns. If it had not been for the National Assembly which passed the law which referred it to me, there would not have been the postponement of the election, he said. Mr. Sall's announcement sparked violent clashes between police and protesters, in which 3 people died. Many feared that Senegal's reputation as a bastion of democracy in an unstable region was on the line. Macky Sall said he did not make the decision alone. He was responding to concerns raised by parliamentarians. After a violent backlash, many feared the relatively stable nation was slipping into political crisis. But the attempt to push the election back by 10 months was blocked by Senegal's top court. The vote will now take place on Sunday, a month after it was initially due. I have no apology to make. I have done nothing wrong, President Sall told the BBC. All the actions that have been taken have been within the framework of the law and regulations. Senegal has had 3 peaceful handovers of power since independence and is the only country in mainland West Africa that has not experienced a coup. Mr. Sall told the BBC that the recent unrest shows that there was an information campaign targeting Senegal and its president, as there is just 1 month between the original election date and when the vote will now take place. He added, I am truly surprised by the value judgments made about me. If I wanted to stay, I would simply be a candidate. In Africa, everyone can have 5 terms if they wanted. If that had been my decision, no one could have stopped me, except the Senegalese people who vote. Due to Macky Sall's declaration on the postponement of the election, another massive protest erupted in Senegal and more lives were lost as well as properties. Again, will Macky Sall be held accountable for this? The next couple of weeks will be crucial and life-changing for Macky Sall. Should Macky Sall be allowed to leave the country? Comment down below. This is a humble request to please like this video and subscribe to the African Pacific YouTube channel. Please show your support by subscribing. Thank you so much. In conclusion, Senegal just underwent its worst ever political crisis in history, instigated by one man who won't treat people with utmost fairness as arbitrary arrest and false imprisonment accelerated. Now his term is gone, which automatically makes him a civilian like any other, with those wrongly imprisoned taking his place as the boss of the nation. This is what African leaders don't think about, thinking that they will never fall. Macky Sall should not be spared. He should be arrested and trialed to set an example for other incoming presidents in Senegal and African, by extension. This is the end of this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching and Ramadan Mubarak.
Président Macky Sall, àdduna bum la jay mukk. Àdduna dafa am taarix, am siira. Boo demee ci siira, boo demee ci histoire àdduna, bi ci gën a sori mooy Firawna ba yi ci mujjee nii kuñ ci musa jay ba gëmloo ni am nga doole bu kenn amul rek rey nañ la. Gis nga nguur kenn moomu ko, yàlla rek a ko moom te dafa am bakkan day jeex. ñii la wër dar la di la bàkk ak yu demee noonu ñu ci bëri ci ñoom ña nga àndoon ak président Abdoulaye Wade di xeex contre toi te bis boo fi jógee ngay xam ni ñooy ay jaam, jéggal leen ma ci terme bi. dañoo bëgg nga delloo sa xel lañu la yéene ñun mooy nga pare dem toog ni say morom. président Issoufou mi ngi Niger kenn sonalu ko, président Buhari ak président Obasanjo kenn ñi ngi fii Nigéria. Guy Rawlings nekk na Ghana ba ni mu génnee àdduna. keneen ak keneen noonu, waxuma sax réewu tubaab yi, fii laa wax ci Afrique. lañ la yéene mooy nga génn dem toog jàpp sa ñàmbur di dox say soxla, wala su dee da ngay dem ci international nga dem, waaye yéenewuñu la mujj bi nga xam ne ñooñu moom lañ bëgg si yow, ndax munoo gagner combat bi devant le peuple sénégalais. te plus ñu lay dugal plus sa situation est grave, parce que bu dee da ngaa dox ci ay néew pour génn wala pour essayer forcer toog ci réew mi, xamal ni sa mujj dina métti lool, dina jafe lool, te yéenewuñ la ko. ki la gëmloo ni nit ñi dañ laa jàppal dara bëgg laa fexeel wala di waa ajal ay fayu, ñun amuñu jot boobu. xam nga ñun dañoo jàng ci yonent bi alayhi salaam, jàng ci nit ñu baax ñi. li ñu jàng mooy lan? bu xeex nooteel jotee kenn gënuñoo dëgër, kenn dàqu ñoo xeex. bu bañ injustice jotee kenn dàqu ñoo xeex. bu xeex ngir dëkk jotee kenn dàqu ñoo xeex. waaye bu ñu demee ba jekku la yonent bi defoon keroog bi mu ubbee Màkka, ñun loolu la ñu gëm. parce que ku ñu jox réew da nga war a jublu ci liggéey, da nga war a jublu ci tabax ak defar, waaye xëy su bu ngoon jot di wër kan laay tëj kaso bokk na ci li tardel Sénégal ba fi mu toll nii. kon na nga delloo si sa xel xam ni ala kulli xaal nguur gi la yàlla doxoon jeex na. la ca des nag mooy daa am fu réew di toll, dafa am fu mbir di toll, ki mu concerné moo war a jël responsabilité am, faire preuve de grandeur. loolu rek lañu souhaité ci yow, souhaité ko ci sa njaboot. asalaamualeykum wa rahmatulah wa barakaatu.